Hey there, welcome to my Grimwall guide on Split. This is one of my favorite maps to play with Sage, so I hope you enjoy the arsenal of boosts and off angles that I'm about to show you. Before we get into it though, for anyone who's completely new to Grimwalling, I'd suggest checking out my YouTube short on Grimwall fundamentals, as wall extensions and jump crouching are necessary prior knowledge to get use out of these guides. Alright then, without further ado, let's get right into the video, starting with So this first wall, you just kind of do a jumping, extending wall diagonally off of there, and you can watch Heaven if anyone watches it. It's a little niche, but I personally really like to use it just to get an early pick. For the next one, you just place your wall vertically like that, and it should let you take Heaven kind of really quickly, and it's a little unexpected from other people, especially if you smoke it off. And also, you can jump back onto the wall and jump on that little ledge right there. And so if people are pushing from there, then you can get them from there as well. If you take Heaven, you can just create a wall off of there. That lets you watch into vents a lot easier, and also lets you watch the rotation from B site to A screens. So I really like this wall too, especially if you take control of that Heaven area. For the next one, same thing. If you take control of Heaven, you can extend your wall using the wall there, and it looks like from screens that you blocked off Heaven. Just remember that you didn't actually block off Heaven. People can walk through there, but no one will really expect you to be all the way up in that corner. So it lets you watch if they drop off of Heaven. It lets you watch screen. You can also get a clear view of main from there as well, so if anyone pushes stairs. This one is a post plant. Once you plant the bomb, kind of that default area, you can just block it off so people can't push screens, and you can also jump onto that little ledge there and peek Heaven from an unexpected angle. Anyways, that should be all of the walls that I know on A site attacker side, so let's move on to. For this first wall, just kind of place your wall diagonally off of that ledge, and it lets you take a really high angle to watch A main from, anyone that's pushing there. You can kind of hide a little bit behind that slanted part, but just kind of to let you get that high angle there. You could also alternatively angle your wall into the wall there and break those three segments, so you kind of just have this floating block that you're standing on. But just make sure to coordinate with your teammates to break those wall segments, because otherwise people might see it. People might hear the wall and stuff like that, so you want to be really quick about it. Otherwise, you know, it's really nice to just watch people pushing through main or even Heaven from there. A little sneaky angle. Next one, right at the beginning of a round, place your wall diagonally into the wall on top of that wooden box. Once again, just a really high angle to watch pushes for a main from. Then you can also just wall off Heaven and try and head glitch people that push through ramps and stuff like that. This one isn't really a grim wall, just something that I kind of test around with sometimes. You just wall yourself up so you're kind of on that same level of the wooden box, and you can peek Heaven through there, but you can use the wall for cover. So just a little work in progress, not really an official grim wall, but still fun to use. Alright, that should be all of the walls that I know on A site, defender side. I know it's not a whole lot of walls for A, but me personally, I love to play B site with Sage, so hope you enjoy those walls, and we're going to go right into it, starting with. There are two different ways to kind of approach B site here. One, you can just fully block it off so that people can't push through there, and you can also stand on top of the wall to peek Heaven and peek site. This is pretty standard, and it lets your team cross over so that they can actually get to site with their bomb. You could also alternatively fake it out, so you could actually make the gap long enough so that you can push through it, but for anyone who's actually standing on Heaven, it looks like that it's fully blocked off, so I'll show you here. It looks like it's completely blocked off, but you can actually walk through it, so that might actually surprise the enemy who's expecting everyone to just rush onto site, so that's a pretty nice fake wall. Another one is that once you actually take site, you can go ahead, tilt your wall a little bit into the wall, and place it on top of that box, and that can actually parkour you up into Heaven. So once again, very unexpected, really quick movement. No one expects you to get to Heaven that fast, and so you can take a lot more space that way. If you somehow can't really get into garage and they're hard pushing it, you can use this wall near spawn to peek over that little metal part. Here, this is for watching mid. You can watch vents by peeking over that wooden box using your wall. Just watch out for blocking anybody who's sewers, unless you want to do that intentionally. But yeah, this is a pretty nice wall. This next one is really hard to do personally. I have to aim really high up, but this is a much better wall to watch mid vents, but it's just a lot harder to implement. You can kind of watch sewers, I wouldn't recommend it. This one really helps watching vents or rotations from heaven to vents as well. So just make sure someone's watching your back, you know, because you have no protection from sewers or main. Alright, this is once you take heaven on B site, you can just go ahead and block it off, and they'll have to knife it or shoot it, and then you can just jump onto the other side and knife them or shoot them or whatever. For the next one, if you want to be a little sneakier, then you can go ahead and push your wall diagonally into there, and you can actually watch the rotation from A site to B site. Just watch out for anyone that's already down there, and it also blocks it off, so that's nice. Finally, you can also just extend your wall off of here, and it lets you kind of float above anyone that pushes screens there. So it's really nice because it's really hard to see that wall from. Just watch out that people aren't pushing you from heaven and ropes. So that should be all the walls that I know on B side attacker side, so let's move right into. Alright, so at the beginning of the round, you can go ahead and tilt your wall a little bit diagonally there and place your wall on top of that box, and so that lets you watch B main from this really high angle, and you can kind of just peek it and jiggle it and catch people off guard there. You can also wait for them to come up the site, but they'll see the wall, so they might know that you're up there. But this one's a really great one. You could also alternatively kind of place that diagonally, and you can actually parkour because a little part of the wall will stick to the other side, and then of course you can jump onto the box up there. So you can kind of peek first from that wall and then parkour on the other end. This is a really aggressive one if you're really confident in like your opping skills or your aim in general, but this just gives you a nice little unexpected angle on main there. Here too, this is kind of a good counter sage wall because a lot of sages will wall there, or people will wall and smoke it off, and that just lets you see above it, so that's really nice. This is a good kind of judge wall. You just place the wall normally, don't let it extend out because you don't want to have people see that wall, but if they push through stairs there, you can just go ahead and destroy them with the judge. Just watch out anyone that's pushing site. But yeah, I actually really like this one. It's pretty troll. It'll get people mad if they don't check that. Alternatively, you can actually extend it and walk all the way across it, and so you can actually peek people that are watching mid instead of having to guess whether they come in or not. Here you can also block off the entrance to heaven if people are pushing from mid. You can peek it still, you can wall bang it still, but you can block it off and kind of force them to go a different direction while still making sure you watch that site. So as you can see, it's completely blocked off. Even if people can try and kind of see it, they can't actually push through it unless they break a wall segment. Here you can also extend your wall diagonally off of there. Just take it as the intersection between the metal part and the box, and you can kind of peek, I fell off there, but you can kind of peek main, you can peek mid, you can peek site. So once again, just a really unexpected angle. You can still place your slow from there too. So yeah, this is a pretty good all-arounder wall. Finally, if you catch yourself there and crouch so your wall doesn't break, you can also peek above walls, sage walls, you know, smokes and stuff like that, and get people that are going main. You can also watch behind you and watch people that are pushing mid. Very unexpected. And then of course the classic, just wall off mid, and you can stand on top of the wall if you'd like. Finally, if you kind of have mid or you hear them rotating through sewers, you can do this wall that you have to push into the wall and place on top of that box, and actually lets you look under sewers. And you know, you can jump down if you want and spray them, but it's really hard to see it if people are pushing from sewers. So. And that should be all the Grim walls I know on Split. If I missed anything or you know a better lineup for some of these walls, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'd also like to end this video by saying that while Grim walls are very fun, they are not going to be game changing without the proper aim, positioning, and game sense. So please use Grimwalls responsibly and try not to throw too many comp games. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again for my Grimwall guide on Fracture. Later!
Move with the grooves, move like that, and now we move with the grooves, move like that.